Honestly, I look back now, even in my 20s and 30s, and I'm like, why didn't I go for that then? Why didn't I do that then? Like, I was so worried about what other people were going to think of me, and that's really what kept me stuck. If I decide to All right, hey guys, welcome back. Today we're talking about something that used to control me more than I'd like to admit, and that is caring what other people think. And not just a little bit. I mean the kind of caring that makes you overthink posting something, or second guess your outfit, tone down your opinions, or like if there's something you want to start doing or a business you want to start, like what will they think of me? Or like shrinking yourself so that no one else feels uncomfortable. So if you've ever felt that, this episode is for you. I didn't always show up confidently. I didn't always speak boldly, and I definitely didn't always feel immune to judgment. But I learned something really powerful. The moment you stop living for approval is the moment your life expands. So why do we care so much? Let's normalize this first, right? Caring what other people think is human. It's biological. We're wired to belong and to care what other people think. I think our brains are wired that way because like thousands of years ago, being rejected meant you didn't survive. Like it was a matter of survival. So when someone disapproves of you, your nervous system reacts like you're in danger. And that's why your heart starts racing when you post something vulnerable, or that's why you just keep replaying conversations in your head. Oh my gosh, did I offend them? Or did I say that wrong? Or that's why criticism can feel like a punch in the stomach. But here's what I had to learn. There's a difference between being aware of others and then being controlled by them. And I allowed myself to be controlled by what I was worried other people were thinking. I let that go on for way longer than it should have gone on for. For me, it showed up when I started like changing my life. So when I started to get more serious about fitness, when I opened my business in aesthetics, when I started like posting more on social media and speaking up a little more and started building something bigger, I had a lot of worry. Do people think I'm vain? Do they think I'm trying too hard? Or I was worried that people are like, who does she think she is to do that? Or I was worried they were going to think like I'm full of myself. Like those are all the thoughts that were running through my brain in the beginning. Some people probably did think that. And that used to really get to me. I think we all want to be liked. We all want to be seen as this kind and relatable and grounded person. I didn't want anyone to think that I thought I was better than them. So I feel like sometimes I dimmed my light. I softened myself. Like I would downplay my goals. Anytime someone would praise me for accomplishing something, I would just downplay it a lot. Or I would over-explain why I was doing something. I think I still do that. Sometimes I have to over-explain myself, so that's still a work in progress. But, or a lot of times I'd even like make things into a joke just to kind of make other people feel comfortable. But I had a realization. When I was doing those things, I was actually abandoning myself to maintain that approval. And that hurt. Honestly, because I was betraying myself. So that hurt more than the judgment that I would get from anyone else ever could, right? And so I knew I needed to like shift away from that. And that shift didn't happen overnight. And it really happened in layers. So the first shift, this was huge for me, was that I realized I was being judged anyway. Okay, it doesn't matter, guys. You're being judged by someone. If you work out consistently, you're obsessed. If you're talking about aesthetics and all these treatments, you're just vain. Or if you're building a business, you're too ambitious. Or if you stay quiet, you're playing small. Like it's just this, you cannot win this approval game. Like People are always going to have opinions and judgments. So I asked myself, if I'm going to be judged no matter what, would I rather be judged for being fully me and going all in on what I want to do, or for hiding and staying small and not going after my dreams and goals? That question changed everything. What actually helped me overcome it? What were the things that I had to do to overcome this thought process? I really got honest about whose opinions actually matter to me, because not everybody gets a vote in your life. I had to ask, like, would I trade lives with this person? Does this person inspire me? Are they building something? Are they critiquing from the sidelines? And I realized a lot of the loudest opinions were coming from people who weren't doing anything bold themselves. So that was freeing. Taking advice from people ahead of you, not from people who want to stay in the comfort zone. I tried to stay in the comfort zone for years. I tried to grow in the comfort zone, and I'm telling you, it's really hard to grow in the comfort zone. The second thing that I did is I really tried to build a lot of trust in myself. This was huge. I really tried to keep promises to myself. So the more I kept promises to myself, the less I needed validation from others. So showing up every day at the gym, like I made that promise to myself. Taking better care of my skin, that was also a promise I made. Learning, growing, just following through. Like don't put yourself on the back burner. Like we keep our promises to other people. I think it's important to keep our promises to ourselves. Honestly, if you don't trust yourself, you're going to constantly be like seeking for others' approval. So if you trust yourself, you'll move forward even when things seem uneasy. Another thing that I had to learn to do is like just let people feel how they're going to feel. Like if people are going to be uncomfortable, like that's on them, has nothing to do with me. This one's kind of hard because I have always kind of been a people pleaser. I'm the youngest of 7, so I've just kind of done what people have told me to do. But when you evolve and change, some people feel it. I feel like my whole life I've always tried to be a people pleaser. I'm the youngest of 7 kids, so I feel like I've always just done what I've been told to do and like just to keep the peace and whatnot. I realize that it's not my job to manage other people's feelings. So when I started like leveling up, sometimes it can highlight what someone else is avoiding in their lives, like when you start showing up in your life. And so like I said, I used to shrink to avoid others feeling uncomfortable, but now I understand other people's discomfort is not my responsibility. I can be kind, I can be loving, but I don't have to make myself smaller because of that. And then the last thing is, I know this sounds kind of morbid, but I think a lot about like at the end of my life and like, you know, when I die or whatever, if I'm on my deathbed and like, I want to look back at my life with as few regrets as possible. I don't think any of us will be able to say they have 0 regrets, but what will I care about the most? Will I care about the people who misunderstood me? Or will I care about who I failed to become because I was scared? So that perspective really hit me hard because that regret weighs more than judgment. Judgment is painful, but that regret lingers. So I just didn't want to, I don't want to look back with regrets and say, wow, I should have tried that. Who cares what that person thought? Like, honestly, I look back now, even in my 20s and 30s, and I'm like, why didn't I go for that then? Why didn't I do that then? Like, I was so worried about what other people were going to think of me. And that's really what kept me stuck. So in conclusion, when you stop caring what others think, you become magnetic. You become more authentic. That authenticity is really rare. So when you own your decisions, when you take care of yourself unapologetically, when you invest in yourself, your growth, when you set those boundaries, people feel that. The right people are going to come closer to you and the wrong people are going to fall away. And that's fine. And here's the truth. The more aligned you become, the smaller your circle might get, but the deeper it gets. And I'd rather be deeply connected to a few people than mildly approved by everybody. So if this is something you are struggling with yourself, start out small. Go ahead and start posting that thing that you want to post or wear that outfit you want to wear. Say no if there's something you don't want to do. You don't have to do everything. Start going to the gym. Book the treatment. Start the business. Follow through with your ideas. And let yourself survive in that discomfort. Because again, growth does not happen in the comfort zone. Because every time you do something scary and realize the world didn't end after all, that's when your confidence expands. So courage isn't the absence of fear. It's acting anyway.